Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another retro recap. Today's game is Congo Bongo. This one was made for the Atari 2600. It was developed and published by Sega, released in 1983. The game was later ported to various home consoles from the arcade, but the idea behind this one is pretty cool. I don't know, I kind of had fun with this one. It was pretty easy achievement wise. You're looking at about 13 achievements here at the time of recording, with a ratio of 1.48. Took me maybe I think an hour and 22 minutes, but that was also because I was messing around with trying to get the positioning right, and I want to take a video showing you on where some of the positioning is for some of these jumps, so you can do your flawless runs, your runs with no dying, and make it a little easier on you if you're having difficulty with. Overall, though, I would just play the game naturally and see how you like it first, as always. The first level is known as the the Great Jungle River. So the idea here, the whole gameplay idea around this is that you are controlling a character named Bongo, um, which is similar to like a Mario character. And your character's named Bongo and a jungle explorer, and he's on a quest to capture a giant gorilla. The gorilla named Congo, so that's where the Congo Bongo comes in, is responsible for setting Bongo's tent on fire. So you're looking to kind of get back at Congo with burning him. I know it sounds morbid, but it's the way the game is. This particular version of the game, it only has 2 levels, and then you get a cutscene. The first level is known as Jungle Mountain. It's set up exactly how you see it. It's a 3D isometric view, which is kind of unique, I think, for an Atari game. You're not going to see this in too many Atari games. Maybe Zaxxon would be like another one. But this one it's kind of cool if you look at it from far away. It looks really nice. The thing is that it's really hard to control and know where the coconuts are falling from, and also judge distances in this. So that's what makes this game a little bit more difficult. I still don't think it's that difficult. These achievements, you should be able to knock these out fairly quickly, but the isometric view can throw some people off. What you're going to do is basically just run up to the top of the mountain to get to Congo. Obviously, there's a bonus, um, point meter that the faster you go, the more points you get. So you want to get up there as fast as possible. You also get points for just moving around, and you can move both any direction you want and continuously move and get points if you want to do that, but you are still losing points from the overall timer. So similar to Donkey Kong, definitely, in the sense that he's also throwing coconuts at you. There's monkeys that'll show up, and we'll get to that in a minute. And those monkeys can jump on your back. You can jump those monkeys off your back, and what they're trying to do is stop you from jumping over that river right there. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start this up, and I'm just going to kind of walk through this level real quick. You'll see that I have to go up the steps, go across the water there, the river, handle those 2 monkeys. It's all fairly fast, and then get to the top, and then we'll go into the second level here real quick. I'll just do a quick breakdown, and then I will let the rest of the gameplay play out. But first thing I would do for this is there's 2 settings actually for this. So there's a slow setting, which is like, I guess, the expert mode, and then there's a fast setting, which is the beginner mode. I highly recommend you just switch it to beginner mode at the beginning. I played for a while on the expert mode, and it was like, it just was ruining the game for me, gameplay experience for me. And then I accidentally hit my setting switch and switch it to the beginner mode, and this game became way more fun because it was way faster. So you're gonna see my character move fairly fast, so I can avoid things a lot easier, and it just made the overall gameplay flow way better if you do that. Let's go ahead and get this going. You can see that your bongo, you're just running up these hills. You can just press the joystick in any direction. You press A to jump, and then same thing, A to jump, and then go up the rest of the level. That's the whole level. That's it. Nothing to it. Now for this level, you see here, this is known as, what do we call this level? It is the Great Jungle River. The Great Jungle River, has Congo at the top, like always. It's got the very Frogger-esque feel to it. This one doesn't have the isometric. It's kind of like a top-down Frogger feel. And what you're going to do is jump onto the hippos, then jump onto the platforms, jump from those platforms onto, I guess, whales, is what those are supposed to be, whales or sharks or something. and then you're going to jump back onto the land, and then you're going to avoid. I think those are, I want to say those are buffalo or something. I don't know what exactly those things at the top are, but you just avoid those. There's only usually 3 of them come by. It's super easy to avoid them. The hardest part in this game is finding where you need to land exactly, because it's kind of got that isometric feel to it on the second board. It's really hard to see where you're going to land and know exactly where you're going to land. So I'm going to kind of run this down real quick and show you exactly where certain spots that are better to land in than others to make it easier on you, because it's very, very finicky. Like, you can die very easily here. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to run this through. That's a hippo you're going to jump on. I usually hit up left there, and at the same time I hit the button to get to that platform, and then you're just going to go straight up. You can see I came down after I jumped on that one, and that's it. That's that whole board. So it's a couple jumps, and you're at the end. So now we're here at his throne room or whatever this is, and this is a cutscene basically. That's all it is you go grab the fire. I'm not doing anything here. This is totally a cutscene. And then you just torch him and start him on fire. Luckily, it says in the instruction manual that he never actually burns for some reason, but I guess so. That's the whole thing. You start over at the beginning. It gets progressively harder every single time you get a new level. Coconuts fall faster, the monkeys show up quicker and get faster. But overall, this is not a very hard game. You can, knock this out and follow these guide, and you should be able to get this done in no time. I'm going to keep this running, and I'll kind of pause it when we get to the 4th stage. The 4th stage has the fastest, that's basically the highest skill level at that point, and has the fastest whales. And I thought that was the part that gave me the most trouble, was this part up here, was when you have to jump onto these whales. It can be really finicky. I found if you jump on their head and move down, you see where the positioning there is on my feet. I'm on the lower end of the whale, and that allowed me to jump onto the next whale. So it's going to keep getting increased speed here. You do get, each level gives you more points, obviously. You get, level 2, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 every time you complete the levels. So it ramps up at the end. You also earn, at 10,000 points, you earn an additional life. But here was this level 3. You can see that the whales are going quite a bit faster now. The hardest part is jumping from the first whale to the second whale at this point. So here I'm going to jump on its head, and then I kind of move. You have to be very, very subtle in your movements here, just slightly clicking. So you can see there I kind of jumped onto the tail and moved to the right at the same time, and you kind of have to do that, otherwise you're just going to fall off the whale. I'll stop on this next one because this will be level 4, which is the hardest difficulty, and we'll just kind of go through it a little bit so you can see exactly where I'm landing on that. Currently, I don't believe the leaderboards are working on Retroachievements, so hopefully they'll look into that, but I was able to score pretty high on this one. So the hippo says it'll kill you. I've never died on the hippo, so, but you can see I'm here on this platform. I'll pause it right there for a second, and then we're going to get right on this whale. I'm jumping there a little ahead of the schedule there. You can see I'm at the very top there. You don't really want to be that high up. So I immediately reposition myself and move down. You can see it goes into the water, even where your feet are in the water. You don't have to worry about that too much. Now here's where it gets difficult. This is probably the hardest part of this game, is right here. And you want to jump, you want to position yourself on the head of the whale as far as, the left or right as you can, depending on which direction it's facing. So you can see me keep moving there. So now I'm going to jump from here. I jumped right there, landed on the tail. As I land on the tail, I'm pushing to the right. So I'm immediately walking back on the whale. And then once you're on that whale's head, you can just jump the rest of the way. And that's it. And then you go burn them again and start the whole process over again. So super fun, kind of fun little game. interesting to learn the mechanics of it and see this whole. So there you can see I got my achievement unlocked in the top left for getting no death achievement, and then I'm also going to get the 100k achievement here to get to 100k. But at this point I'm just kind of running through the same format that you've been already running. The game does get pretty boring and repetitive at a certain point. That's why I'm kind of like, I don't even go for that crazy of a high score. I'm just going to get my 100,000 and bail and move on to something else. But nonetheless, still an interesting game to play, and I kind of like the fact that they kind of ripped off Donkey Kong a little bit for this one. I know the arcade version looks pretty cool. I might try to see if I can find that and get that game. Get some achievements in that one too, if they have them on RA. I don't know if they have them on RA. But fun game nonetheless. I'm going to let this play out so you can see the rest of the gameplay action. If you have any questions about any of the achievements, or just want to let me know what you think of this game, just hit me up in the comments. Love to hear it. But I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next Retro Recap.